Time to test the remote
Studio,
functionality.
Studio, Florida. So
Exactly.
we had Studio W.
Uh-huh.
Now this is Studio F because I am in Florida and Gus is in Atlanta. So a lot of you may notice that the past two videos, Gus, you did a great job, but I haven't been in them. I did notice the views are down. I'm just saying.
Well, that's
I don't know if there's a
not right.
correlation twice in a row.
No,
when I wasn't on them. Probably not. It's weird.
I don't think so. I don't think there's
but anyway, and all kidding aside, so now it just took me a while. I am in Florida for a while, everybody. I'll be in South Florida pretty much through March. So I needed to get my remote studio set up here, which we've now done. And we're back. We'll be together.
Right.
Can everybody hear me and see me okay? That this would be a good test of asking you all how's it going. So how's my sound? Everybody, good sound, good picture quality?
I think so.
Okay, awesome. I'm going diving next weekend. I'm here in South Florida. This is where I grew up. So next weekend, I dive again, which is great. I'm not going to pan the camera all around, but I have my dive, both rebreathers and dive gear all over the floor here.
If a bomb went off at a dive shop, that's what it would look like. Like your room.
Yeah, I just gave the owner a tour of what his place now looks like. He's super cool, though. But all right. But basically, I'm close to the swim school I'm setting up, so that's why I'm here.
Nice. Everyone is chiming in. Hello from Dallas. And yeah, so if you guys have any questions, again, there was no agenda for today. It was just about testing the new setup, which Woody did by himself, and I was petrified. But it seems like he did a good job.
Well, now let's elaborate on that because you skipped over the by myself quickly.
Yeah.
Totally by myself. All of the stuff that I connected. There are wires, connections, soundboard, camera, microphone, TV, all connected perfectly by me.
Nice.
And
that's how easy it is. That's how easy it is.
Yeah. I was supposed to get your help, but you're like, I'm still in bed.
Yeah, I was busy.
Like for a week. I'm like, you're in bed for a week?
Yeah, I was busy the whole time.
What are you doing?
Okay, so
let's just tell the world right now. You kind of miss. I mean, I think you may miss me a little bit.
I'm just jealous that you're in South Florida and I'm up here in Atlanta, freezing. By the way, it's like negative 1,000 right now in Atlanta.
It's cold here this morning. People have their heat and jackets on. It dropped down to 72 this morning, which right now, like my landlord came out in his ski jacket. It's like literally, I'm not kidding you. When it drops down to like 70 degrees here, South Florida's like, oh my, it's a massive cold front. Of course, it'll be 80 by noon.
Yeah. Emergency status. Okay. Miss is asking, can we recommend a wetsuit? I mean, that's a tough recommendation. All I can say is what I dive with, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there are no other good wetsuits out there. But I dive Mares wetsuits. I think they make the best neoprene, although some people say that the quality of the neoprene has it has decreased over the last year or so. My wetsuits are not, super new. So I guess I was on the previous batch or something because my neoprene is legit. I have some wetsuits from 2018 still that look like new. It's awesome.
Yeah, I was just sent some Mares wetsuits as well, and I've been diving it here in South Florida, and they're great. They're hot, but it's tricky. They have different levels of wetsuit. So you can have a Mares 5 mil wetsuit in different levels. And I forget what they name their levels, but get the highest level. Just whatever it is, don't get the mid-level 5 mil, for example, get the high level 5 mil. It's the way the seams are put together and stuff like that. So they're great.
Yeah, pay a little more. Pay a little more for quality. That's for sure.
In everything.
Felicia says that we inspire her to get back to diving after a 10-year break. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Love that.
I just got a text message this morning from two people. They're wearing some dive talk gear. They're on an airplane headed to Tulum getting cave certified.
Yes.
They said that we motivated them. So they're going to, and imagine that, they're going to be in 76-degree water caves with no flow.
So
getting
jealous.
Certified there. So that's awesome. We love hearing that.
So jealous. Speaking of Mares, and this is kind of a segue to a future video that we're working on. Notice that both Woody and I are wearing the new Apple Watch Ultra. And the main reason why we got it, I'm not a big fan of smartwatches. I prefer mechanical watches. As an engineer, I just love the engineering. But I've been wearing it because I want to get used to it for our review. We're going to be reviewing them mainly from the perspective of a dive computer. And we also want to compare this $800 dive computer plus watch, etc., to other computers in the market. Like we're going to be comparing it to the Shearwater Terek, for example, which is an actual dive computer that is a watch style dive computer. And Mares sent us this. Woody, you haven't seen this. Look, the Mares Puck Pro. It's like the regular run-of-the-mill $200 dive computer that many beginner divers end up getting. So this is brand new, and I've never used one. But I look forward to comparing it to this $800 dive computer from Apple. See which one is more capable. The super cheap Mares?
And also, Apple has said, look, we dive Shearwater. So let's just start with that. That's our main dive computers. We're just testing this. Now, Apple has said that this computer, dive computer, is sort of only rated in terms of the functionality of tracking your depth and your deco profile to 130 feet. So what do you think we're going to do with it? Take it to 330 feet. Of course. I mean, right? I'm like, okay, the Apple, let me just finish what I'm saying, because Apple's probably going to watch all this. Apple, I know there was probably some attorneys involved, right? They're like, oh man, let's just start off with recreation. But why? Okay, what if somebody goes to 135 feet? Well, now you're on your own. You're on your own. No more information. Like, what?
To the heart.
I want to understand after I dive this to 330 feet, what information, I know it's going to stop, I hear, giving me information during the dive. I know that, which is insane. But what afterwards will I be able to download from it if it's logged? Is it going to have info in there? So we're really going to put it through the test, because I'm not saying that Apple needs to make it a tech diving computer, but we absolutely, as divers, have to have our dive computers working through all portions of the dive. And the reason I'm saying all of this, and the reason I want to put it through the test, is, everybody, I actually believe that this Apple, with dive computer / watch / monitors my heartbeat, etc., is going to be huge.
Wow.
So I'm the other end of the extreme. I think it's a phenomenal idea. And wow, they're going to eventually integrate it. Can you imagine? And it's all, I've been using it with my maps, like my Apple Maps and whatever. And it like blinks at you when you're turning. So like, Gus, if I make a turn, this thing will go and put a right arrow on my wrist. I swear. You're driving. I'm like, whoa, it's telling me to turn right. So listen, it's going, that's the power of Apple. But don't go out, Apple, not knowing a lot about diving and stop giving information because you set your limit to 130 feet. That is extremely dangerous for a diver.
Yeah, it's nonsense. And we still don't know what's going to happen, because the actual scuba app, the dive app, which is made in a, I guess, partnership with Oceanic, which has been making scuba stuff forever, it hasn't been out yet. It's not out yet. So we're on the list to receive a notification as soon as the app is out. And as soon as the app is out, we will be diving with it and testing it and tell you a real diver's perspective.
And right on our arm, we'll have our other Shearwaters right next to it, right? So you'll be able to see the information that all of them are giving us. By the way, Gus, I have a question. I'm just wondering, I don't get the Dive Talk logo on my screen? Only you do? Because it's nice. Well, I did invent the name.
I can give it to you, but then people are gonna complain. Cool. Watch the complaints come in. Watch. All right. How about that?
Oh, no, I was meaning we both should get them.
No, it's only on the top right, and people are gonna be freaked out. They're gonna be like, "I don't like this. My head is playing games." They just
Oh, okay.
you
I
need
didn't
to
get
be on
that.
the left, and I need
You
to be
can
on
put
the
it
right.
back. That's fine. You can put it back. I didn't
Okay,
understand that. I thought we both could maybe have and share. You know,
maybe.
I know sometimes sharing is tricky for you. That's all I
Well,
meant.
maybe that's not right. Uh,
Well,
see, Luis is saying you're freaking me out. See, I'm telling you, people are not
is that Louise
receptive.
as in
Luis B.
the awesome Louise? Hi.
What awesome, Luis. I mean, I think all Luises are
Whatever. They're
awesome.
friends of mine. I mean, I have
Oh,
friends. I have my own group of friends on, related to Dive Talk that you may not.
really?
Okay, so
Interesting.
look, I don't like this. I don't like this quick playing games. That's so funny. Okay, we're back. We're back to normal. Yeah, don't ever do that again. The comments just blew up of.
Well, we'll just flip
I
flop
love.
as we answer questions.
That's the funniest one though. I don't
Make
like
people
this.
throw up.
Quit playing games, Landon. That's funny. Yeah, no more games. Let's just be normal. You're right. That's better. Danica. Dive Talk is on your
Exactly.
hat, Woody. Okay, that's true. That's
That
true.
is true.
A little out of shape right now. Oh, man, I'm in Florida and I'm getting like special. There's new stuff forming, like hanging in
But
places.
you don't like Cuban food, which is surprising to me.
Well, I do. I like chicken,
Wow.
but you eat
That's
that. You eat a pig, right? You'll eat that animal.
I Cuban food is amazing. What do you mean?
I love Cuban food. I don't want Cuban people. I love their food. I'm learning
Mm,
Espanol
that
while donde en la Fort Lauderdale.
that's not right.
What's
Nope.
your sack rate, Woody? I don't always say it's incredible. People have said it's good. I just look. I do believe that working out and being in good shape matters tremendously for diving, and I don't pull punches with that. My people may not like hearing it. I don't care, honestly. So aerobically, I'm in pretty good shape, and I have a really low sack rate. It depends what I'm doing, but my overall sack rate, if I'm in a very mellow, just chilled out situation, is super low. But I'm smaller, so maybe it's a lot of it can have to do with just the sheer size of a person as well.
Yeah.
Um, but it's pretty low. Although I keep my when I'm doing dive planning in ID Go Pro, I actually like triple it and go up to like a 1. So I can be at like a 0.25 to 0.3 sack rate, and I will plan my dives at a 1, which is like honestly triple what my sack rate really is for
Yeah.
conservatism. And I'm going to talk about that in an upcoming seminar I've been asked to do on planning a
Absolutely.
tech dive and why it really matters when you're tech diving, right? So anyway,
Absolutely. We're getting really close to be completely sold out at the meetup next year,
thank you,
which
Gus.
I'm sad for the people that have been like, oh, I'm gonna wait till December, I'm gonna wait till January to sign up. You may not be able to. The hotel doesn't have infinite space, so make sure you sign up if you haven't done that already. If you've been thinking about it, you don't have to pay for everything up front. It's kind of split over time. So even if you sign up in December or whatever, it's the same money wise as signing up right now. So might as well take your spot, secure your place because it's gonna sell out.
Can you tell them a little bit more details where it's at, when it's
Yeah.
at, and the link in particular? Because man, it's going to be so awesome to dive with so many of our friends from Dive Talk in frigging Cozumel, Mexico.
Yeah.
And by the way, any level of diver, So yeah, I don't want you to think, oh, I got to be a super duper tech diver, whatever. Just
No.
come. So go ahead, tell them the details.
Even non-divers can come. So yeah, July 8th through 15th next year, we're going to Cozumel. We already did a meetup. We did it this year. We did it in Florida, but it was very, very small. And the way we planned it was we only had room for like 25 people. It was a small meetup. And we open it up to Argonauts first. So if you're a member and you're an Argonaut, typically you will get notified about events and things like that before everyone else. So if we have limited space, the members will always get priority, and depending on their membership level, we notify them. So we notified Argonauts about the meetup, and they all took the 25 spots. So all 25 people attending the meetup in Florida were Argonaut members, and it was awesome. I think at the end we ended up squeezing like 27 or something like that people, and that was because again the size of the boat that was available to us in Florida wasn't bigger. We couldn't allow more people, but we proved the concept, which is let's get together and dive, right? Doesn't matter what experience you had. And we had people at the
Yes.
meetup that had like 8 dives, 10 dives, like very, very new. They got certified before the meetup and they wanted to dive with us. And that is the idea. So when we proved the concept, everybody had a great time. We started thinking about where can we go that would have the infrastructure, the boats, for example, to host way more people. And that's how we ended up going to Cozumel. We reached out to a lot of hotels and operators, by the way, in different countries. And Cozumel ended up working out to be the best fit for meetup number 2. So we're going to have way more people, over 100 people there. There's many more boats available, and we're all going to be diving together. So this is not a cave diving trip, cenote tour, whatever. This is out in the beautiful ocean in Cozumel, which is world class. And we're all going to be together and diving, right? This is not going to be like, oh, Gus and Woody are in an expert boat somewhere and they don't want to dive with anyone else. No, I'm planning to do exactly 0 dives with Woody while we're in Cozumel. I want to dive with you, the people coming to the meetup, and Woody's going to do the same. And also all of our speakers. I don't know if you saw the lineup of speakers. Mike Young will be there. Ed Sorensen will be there. Doug Ebersole, Christina Senato will be there. Jonathan Bird from Blue World TV will be there. He's going to do
Richard Harris.
Yeah, Richard Harris will be there. Jonathan Bird is going to be teaching us about underwater photography and videography. So if you like taking videos or pictures on the water, I mean, can you name anyone better to learn from?
Yeah, he was thinking I would join him on that. I was going to bring my Paralens and help him out with that.
Exactly.
Because his gear is similar. I know.
Right. I'm sure their cameras.
I bought a bankrupt company.
That's right. Your camera is from a bankrupt company. But yeah, so Jonathan Bird is going to be teaching us about underwater photography and videography. And obviously Ed's going to be talking about who knows what stories he's going to be sharing. And we keep getting the question, by the way, are we recording the talks? And the answer is no. We won't. We don't plan to record any of the presentations. They are for the people going to the meetup. I recommend that you sign up and get there.
Yes, come with us. So how do they sign up? It's on our website, right?
It's on our channel. So go to the Dive Talk channel. The video that is pinned on the main tab, I think it's the home tab, is the Cozumel, and the Cozumel video, and you can click on the link and sign up. How many dives per day are planned? So it's funny because there's 2 options. You can go and do 2 dives, which is what we're planning to do. We're planning to do 2 dives a day, but you can pay a little bit extra. I think it's like $50 more. It's not a lot. And then you can do unlimited dives. And I think that's like 4 or 6 dives a day if you want to do that. But again, there's going to be speakers and stuff. So do you want to miss a presentation from Dr. Harry, who was on the Thai cave rescue, because you went out diving one more time in Cozumel? Maybe. I mean, it's up to you. But
Doug Ebersole, by the way, also going to be there.
Doug Ebersole will be there as well. Yeah.
So it'll be really cool. So somebody just asked
Brian
what happens.
Brian Kakok will be there too.
Yeah. Amazing. So somebody asked what happens if I have to throw up underwater during I'm underwater. Well, you throw up right through your regulator. Comes out the sides. Then I come up with my camera because you're gonna have fish all over your face, man. That's like some good chow for them. Yeah, that's it. No joking around. Even if you have to cough, you just cough right through the regulator. It's no big deal. We do it all the time.
People have the most interesting questions, about underwater stuff, which is great. By the way, some people are commenting they've stayed at the Iberostar, at the hotel that we're staying at for the meetup, and they loved it.
Good.
They loved the hotel.
We'll be there. Gus gave you all the info, and it's selling out fast, so jump on it. I don't know if we'll ever see again this kind of lineup of speakers all at one event and diving with us. They're not just speaking, but you'll be on a boat. It's like diving with the world's greatest divers. I am going to want to dive with as many different people as possible, me personally. So, yeah, I mean, what am I going to do on the dives? chill,
Yep.
relax. And I'm going to teach a small class in cephalopod and fish communication since I do that. That'll be a side class I'll do if you want to dive with me on that trip.
Absolutely. And some people are in the chat that are going to the meetup, so we look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah. Wow, Shannon, good job coming up on your 100th dive. That's great. Big accomplishment.
Yeah, they're asking if I'm using the Orca Torch D630 as my primary light for cave diving. Yeah, we both do. Woody and I use the D630 as our primary light.
Yeah, I got 2 of them laying around here.
Yeah.
Right
and
now.
D710s are our backups.
I got a few of those laying around here.
Yep.
I'm using those in Florida while I'm here.
Are we planning to go to the Piers Resurgence with Harry? I mean, that would be epic, but there's no plans right now to do that.
Yeah.
Can't even get Woody to carve out some time to sit here and talk. I've been eager.
I don't even know how to respond. It's like sometimes I get caught up on my words when I hear stupidity.
Exactly. Somebody's asking, can you scuba dive if you're susceptible to vertigo? I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah. So again, I know some people are asking about the paint color. I've been responding. Just message me or send me a message or info@divetalk.com. You can ask a question. I just prefer to relay that back to you.
Have you ever seen underwater mushrooms? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe.
I don't think I have.
Would you ever go in a submarine? Yes, I would love to.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That would be amazing. Let's see. Does anybody know how to watch Ancient Caves? Try to catch it in a IMAX theater near you because it's not coming to streaming or anything like that. So try to catch it.
Sorry if I see somebody say I didn't reply, and I don't like that. You sent me a request about the pink on that email. Maybe resend it, and I'll check them later today. We get so many emails that come through that it's hard for me to catch them all, and I apologize.
We're actually working on a website where that's going to be posted, so people can just go probably like divetalk.com/Woody in Pink or something like that. But we're working on a website. Somebody said if we have kits, yeah, we both have kits.
Anybody want to see my pink Sidewinder right now? Oh, you do? Great.
Not really.
I know. Okay, I'll go get it.
Not really.
I want to hold it up. It's so friggin' beautiful. 1 second.
Somebody's asking if we're going to Dima.
You can talk for a second.
Yes, thank you. I don't need permission, but all right. Asking if we're going to Dima. Yeah, so more than likely we will be at Dima, but probably not for the whole event. So we'll make, appearance here and there, but we're not gonna be there every. That's wow. Nope. Okay. What is this?
XD baby. Oh man, that thing just trims out.
Wow. All right. Jacob wants to take the GUE Cave 1 class soon. Good luck. It's a good class. GUE is a good agency. So that's good stuff. When you have 8 to 10 hours of decompression time, how do you drink and eat? You just don't. Just wait. I mean, I know that some people can drink and stuff and eat, but I mean, you can spend weeks without eating. It's okay to be 10 hours without eating.
Warms my heart.
Somebody asked, about eating if you have a long deco. No, what we do is we don't eat, but then after the dive, we go and eat the whole restaurant that we go to. That's typically how that works.
Yes.
Still, my favorite is probably that Brasstown. No, Brass. What is it? Brasstown? No. Brass something pub in West Palm Beach. It's like where the local alcoholics hang out.
I'll be there. I'll be there next week.
It's awesome, man. I love
the hamburger there. That little
Brass Ring Pub, I think it's called.
I'll be there next week. I showed it to you, and it's after diving. Usually, when I dive in Jupiter, that's where we go.
Mm-hmm. Are you
Not that I'm a
only
Logaka.
Are you only going to do rebreathers in Cozumel? What configuration will be best to dive with you guys? You can be in open circuit. Like,
Anything.
we'll be on
Anything.
rebreathers, but doesn't matter.
Dive
Open
profiles.
circuit,
The
doubles,
dive,
side mount, spare air, whatever. Go
but the
ahead,
dive
Woody.
profiles will be for recreational diving. So you don't have to worry that we're on rebreathers. They'll probably be doing like 1 hour drift dives, and we'll be coming back up with whoever we're diving with as your buddy.
Do you get less dehydrated on a rebreather than breathing dry open circuit air? Probably.
Yes. Definitely known. You're creating humidity in these. So basically, it is a more moist air, and yes.
Felix is asking a question. Can you guys bring Mike Young together with a video producer? It's a shame his footage is not properly cut. If you see the videos that Mike was involved with the Roaring River project, the videos are beautiful. They're better than anything I can ever do. However, Mike did give me a memory card with footage from his latest, trips or whatever, and I will be editing it for him. So the next video on Mike's channel, I'm gonna actually edit for him. But
he is
not that
going to be doing.
not that I'm great, but yeah.
But he is going to be doing more with us. We are going to be doing even more collaboration with Mike. It's a discussion that we've been in with him. So I think you're going to be seeing him on some pretty cool planned adventures we have. So
2023 is going to be
next
big.
year, man. It's going to be something unbelievable.
Yeah. Thoughts on wearing 2 dive computers while diving? Sure.
I always do.
You wear 2?
I always wear 2. Always.
Absolutely. Okay.
They're both Shearwater.
Super chat. Thank you, by the way, Sparky, for the super chat. How long did it take you guys to go from open water divers to instructors? Completely different answers on this one for Woody and I.
40. I think could be 38 to 40 years. I mean, I dove for, I think 4 decades without being an instructor. And then I just decided after selling a company that I had to, why not? I'll have the time now, so I'll be an instructor. I was like 11 years ago, 10 years, something like that.
Yeah. For me, it was 2 years, but not because I was better or greater. I'm not. It's because, I like progressing and I just kept moving through the ranks. But honestly, I don't teach as much as Woody. Woody does way more than me. And he's taught hundreds and hundreds of people. I've taught like 10. So it's not a race, by the way. It's about experience and whether you can effectively teach people. There's a lot of great divers out there that are terrible instructors, and they're amazing. They have great skills. It's a combination of having skills plus be able to teach.
And I don't even know about being able to teach. I think it's a passion. In other words, you got to enjoy the experience of teaching because it's a lot of work. You're almost having to you are having to sacrifice your diving in a way for their diving. But the satisfaction of watching them learn to do what you love in itself is the reward. And if you teach for those reasons, and it's not you and look at me and I'm a great diver and instructor and your ego doesn't get inflated. Those kind of instructors, honestly, I have very little patience for. But if you're doing it because you really enjoy the process of bringing people into this amazing world that we share, scuba diving, that's why I teach.
Benjamin, thank you for the super chat. He says there's a dive site in South Cozumel called Devil's Throat. Says that we're going to love it. You enter the cavern around 40 feet and exit around 115. I've heard of this site. I feel like we've done it. I don't remember if we did it when we were there, but I've heard of it and a lot of people do it. It's a very popular site. Let's see. All right. Loving our content. Thank you for watching, everyone. Tyler, thank you for the super chat. Do you consider the Apple Watch Ultra to be a viable backup dive computer?
I don't know.
We'll test it.
I can't answer that. You can go from open water to cave diver. You can. But I think that what I would recommend is that you get more classes under your belt. In particular, definitely work on, if you may want to call it perfect buoyancy, but work on your trim and buoyancy, I would definitely take an enriched air class, and I would also take a deep class. But it's not so much about the certifications, it's about the practice, because once you go into cave diving, you really need to be in the dive position, and you really need to be able to do your proper kicks, frog kicks, front, back, helicopter turns.
Yep. Anthony's saying, is diving a smart hobby for someone who doesn't make more than $70,000 a year? Sure, but it all depends on what kind of diving and how often, right? If you're going to dive once or twice a year, absolutely, no problem. You can do it. But if you want to dive every weekend and own a rebreather and go on epic trips overseas, then of course, even if you made 140,000, it might not be possible, right? To live that style. So diving is all about lifestyle, is how much you do it and where do you do it. Some people dive every weekend at the local quarry. That's what I used to do. I had a membership at the local quarry. It was like $300 a year, and I dove every weekend. Tanks were included. I just went there and dove and dove and dove, and that's how I got experience. So diving is a relative term. If you want to go to the Maldives, probably it's not going to work.
Oh, Yukon Sean Holland is on. He was the one that I was telling you. He's on a layover. He's on his way to get cave certified, right? I just saw that he's on a layover in Seattle, man. Have a great trip. Be safe and get ready for the black belt of diving, man. It's going to change your game completely after a cave class. It's awesome.
What does getting bent feel like? I hear that there are so many different things that can happen: ear problems, becoming paralyzed, etc. Achilles, thank you for your super chat. By the way, I have no idea how much that is. He did a 10,000 COP. What is COP? Colombian pesos, I assume. Guessing. But you're right. So getting bent, it's different per person, because the idea behind getting bent is the bubbles get trapped inside your body. So if those bubbles are trapped in your elbow, for example, you just get an itchy elbow, right? Maybe. But if the bubbles are trapped in your brain, that's bad, right?
Yeah, neurological bends is tricky. I mean, it's different for everybody. There also can be paralysis where you actually don't feel anything.
Yep.
So you can go from being in severe pain, like joint pain, almost like a form of arthritis, to itchy, to total paralysis on the side that is bent. That can also be cause nausea and dizziness as well. So there's a lot of different symptoms.
Yep. This is a good question. Jane is asking, in a lost line scenario, how do I retrieve my safety spool after I follow the main line to the exit?
Go back another time.
Yep. You don't do it that day. Leave it.
I mean, you have a marker. You should put a cookie. So when you find the line, right, you went and you found the main line. There it is. You put a cookie on the side that you're exiting on. Does that make sense? So you tie it off because you found that line. You tied off your reel, pointing back towards where you ultimately tied it off on. And on the exit side of the direction you chose to go exit out of, you actually put a cookie. So that's it. You got to take that line back and get it another time. You definitely would not get it then.
Mike asked a really good question. You didn't become instructors for the money? It's funny that you say that, because there was a conversation earlier this week of someone who went pro, and her idea was, I think she's a nurse, and her idea was, I'm young, I'm not married yet, I don't have any kids. She's a young nurse. Maybe I'll just become pro and just go live as a instructor or whatever somewhere.
If you don't want to eat, if you don't care about food or a home anymore,
and then I'll come back and be a nurse later, right? That was the idea. And she was posting on Facebook, I can't find anything where I can pay rent and pay, no job really works. And somebody made a comment, is like, wait, you're telling me it doesn't include yoga at the beach and riding horses? Because every video you watch about becoming a scuba instructor, it's like these guys are doing yoga at the beach, loving life. The reality is that's not how that works.
It's hard work. Yeah. Most of them have other jobs, or they also work in the dive shop selling gear and stuff like that. It's tough. It's not high paying. People do it for the love. So just
Yeah.
you could, but it's all relative, and everybody has a different standard. So just
Can
be
you
aware
guys
of
tell
that.
us who got you both into diving? I think you got into diving because of money. You were hustling, selling lobsters.
For me,
That
it
was
was
you.
because of lobsters. My friend Paul Silverman, uh, another little kid, we got into it actually by trying his dad's gear in his swimming pool, and then got caught. But then after
Yeah.
that, we figured out we could catch lobsters at night. We would go out late at night. His sister Cheryl Silverman would drive us. She was older, and we would sell them.
When you go
That
like
kind
on
of
their like cruise ships and stuff and get lobster,
that was
like
in Port Everglades. So
sketchy.
the inlet of Port Everglades used to be loaded with lobster. There's a
Mm.
big in a port here called Port Everglades. It was one of the deepest water ports in the world. The Nimitz used to be able to dock inside of Port Everglades. It was so deep. So anyway, underneath there, that channel was like 70 to 100 feet deep, man. And it was like, you'd go out at night. You're not allowed to dive there. No diving. But that's what we dove because there were
Well,
tons of there were
you,
lobster. We were little kids. I mean, I'm much more mature. I would never violate a rule like that
you
now.
you also there were also rules about not starting fires that would cause
Yeah.
billions of dollars in damage,
Well,
but you know.
I mean, I'm gonna blame that on Doug Wheeler, my next door neighbor. Did I say his name like that? No. I listen, when you're a little kid and I was like Boy Scouting it. I was trying to become a proper, but I thought I put it out.
Yeah, how that
He had
worked out.
12, a Woody had 12
Mm.
mentality of putting a fire out.
Speaking of 12-year-old mentality, Mike Young gave me this gift. I don't know if I should show it in camera because this is a family show. But
Well then,
I don't know if I should put it on. He gave it to me because he said I have orange fins. He's like, you should put them in the back of your fins. But like, can you people put these on like their Crocs? Like, I'm glad it's blurred, but if you know what I'm talking about, that's
I
that's what he gave me, and I'm like, what kind of gift is that? Like, I don't know if he wants me to put it on the fence,
Yeah.
but I don't.
Hey, that's a great question. I think it's from Engineering. Is it acceptable for a cave diver to penetrate a wreck, or is there different rules for wreck penetration? So listen, if you're a cave diver, it's going to help tremendously. And I actually use the tie-offs that we use in cave diving, like have a guideline all the way to your exit line, all the way to the surface, basically. I use that if I'm going to do cave penetration. And I see a lot of these so-called advanced wreck dive instructors, and I'll go with them, and I'm like, what are they doing, man? Like they don't. I won't mention names, but wow. So I think you're way prepared to penetrate a wreck if you are a cave diver. However, there are certain other procedures that it relates to a wreck because the wrecks have lots of dangerous items in them that can hurt you. So you got to be careful about. It's more about just where you're navigating and so forth. And then the tunnels inside the wrecks tend to silt out really, really easily. So you have to really be good at making sure you can get in and out of that tight tunnel with zero visibility. That happens. I don't care if you have perfect trim. Some of those penetration tunnels in the wrecks are just like immediately. So that's all. That's what I would tell. That's my experience.
Yeah, I agree. And I didn't mention somebody asked. I didn't mention how did I get started or who got me started into diving. It was actually myself. We were going to Iceland, and I Googled what to do in Iceland, and the number one result was scuba diving. So I was like, maybe I'll just learn how to scuba dive so I can dive in Iceland, and that's how I got into diving. But I had friends that were divers, and they were always like, "You should learn. You should learn." Uh, I never did it until I went to Iceland. Why do we use Kiss rebreathers? Do you have experience with other brands? I don't. I don't have experience with other brands. They might be amazing too. I don't know, but Kiss rebreathers are great, and the best divers in the world dive Kiss. So that's why I did.
I have limited experience with other rebreathers. Just I've tried the Poseidon. I've just like on a trial thing, but I've only really been certified and mostly Dove Kiss, and they're super reliable. That's why I like them. I like the fact that they're mechanical rather than electronic. I personally like that. But I
Mhm.
think the biggest reason that I like KISS, I said this before, it's a little maybe different than Gus' reason, but I've said this. I like the KISS family. I like the bonding around the world, that when you meet another fellow KISS diver, it's like this instantaneous bond. We understand each other's gears. We understand why we chose KISS. And man, it's such a growing family. And on these expeditions that we go on, they tend to be like all KISS divers, on the expedition. I really don't see other rebreathers on those expeditions and so forth if we're going together. So it's cool. The family, the Facebook pages that are KISS, and I think that all stems from the top. Mike Young really wanted to create a family environment where people feel welcomed at all levels. He's always go out and be a mentor for somebody else. Everybody started, right? Everybody had a beginning, and you really appreciated that person that was advanced or super advanced, that took the time to dive with you and be with you. And Mike did that with me. After I got certified, I guess with Doug Ebersol, like I went to, I think it was in inner space. I think I was getting certified or finishing one of my certification levels. It may have been Normoxic. I can't remember. But anyway, Mike was there, and he was like, wow, the owner of KISS is there, like one of the greatest cave divers. And he was like, let's go dive together. I'm like, me? With me? Right? And that environment, that attitude that he has is pervasive throughout the KISS community. So that may be the reason why I like KISS the most. Yes, they're amazing, and the Sidewinder and all the technology, but that in itself is, I think, more important to me than anything else.
Yeah, Mike is awesome. And he was there at meetup number 1, by the way. And I think it was Robin who said, I want to do my 100 dive with you, Mike. And he was like, absolutely, I'll be your buddy. So she got to do her 100 dive with Mike Young as her buddy. So that was cool.
And I wasn't jealous that, she chose him to do that.
Somebody asked what camera we use to shoot our underwater stuff. We actually shoot Sony. I shoot with this camera right here. Let me show you. It's called the FDX 3000 camera. It's awesome. It goes underwater to 200 feet, and it has to be on a dive case. But they don't make them anymore. So like whenever this breaks, I'm gonna cry. Number one, and number two, I don't know what I'm gonna replace it with because it's awesome, and I'm so sad. So he shoots in 4K, and I don't edit our videos. We don't enhance them or add colors or anything. When you see underwater stuff from us, unless it's Woody Recording, who has a terrible camera, Paralens, that's not even a company that exists anymore. Unless it's Woody shooting, if I'm shooting, this is it. This is what I use.
The last video that you just played for our group was pretty amazing, and I was the photographer the whole time, and noticed that you never asked, why don't you let me take the camera so I can film a little bit of you, Woody, because maybe people would like to see you. No, guys.
Well,
no, really, I insist. They only want to see your backside for hours. That's all. They were just, the demand to see your backside underwater for hours was just
I didn't see a single comment saying, hey, I wish I was watching Woody right now. Not one comment.
No, and they probably didn't really know I was there because you were talking through the whole video.
I deleted them all.
Yourself.
And blocked them.
Really knew I was there, or but I was the photographer. But that's good. I'm good that way. I feel good that I got to do that.
No, the last video, even though it didn't get it wasn't as popular as the other ones. The one about Brian doing a briefing. Number one, it made me want to go diving immediately. I don't know if you watched that video, Woody. It made me want to go diving immediately because Brian is so good at his briefing. But the second thing is people were listening to it and they were like, wow, I can't believe you cave divers do all of this before your dives. Absolutely, we do all that stuff. And that's why it's safe.
Yes. His briefings are so vivid. I did watch a little bit of it. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't on you. It's just, I get it, everybody out there. Those long briefing videos, they're not as exciting as some of the other reactions we do. But I think it was a good idea that Gus did that because it shows just the preparation that is involved, especially to dive fragile caves like that. Because what Brian's doing in those briefings, yes, he cares about informing us, and it's cool to know what you're doing, but he's also protecting the caves. because he spends a lot of time on like, okay, this is now the next level up for you guys, because I'm trying to ultimately get you to the most fragile cave. And he gradually increases where you go with him in terms of the caves and the decoration in there. So his briefings get more and more detailed, so you don't destroy the cave, basically.
Yeah, for sure. James is asking, I know the company send you all gear to test. My question is, have you designed any gear for any company or provided feedback for a company when their changes are implemented? So we do that with Orca Torch. We give them feedback on lights and things and how they should work. Right now we're working with them on the switch for the new D630, and we provide them feedback, not just us. We're not like we're the only ones providing feedback, but we do provide feedback. And then there are some other situations where I actually take the initiative to try to create something better. Like I mentioned this, and unless you're a member, you haven't seen this because I share with members only. But until recently, I was diving with these wet notes. I've had them for a couple of years. They're made by Subgravity, which is a great company. They make cool stuff, and that's why I have their wet notes. But I do have some complaints about it. Number one, the band that is right here holding the thing together is like a flat thing that is stretched easily, and I wanted something more sturdy. It doesn't have a D-ring that allows me to attach a bolt snap to it to hang it from my BC, so it's always in a pocket. And the pencil that it came with doesn't have a umbilical or whatever. So if I drop it and I lose it, it's gone. It's going to be in the bottom of the ocean, and some fish are going to eat it and die probably. So I decided to see what can I improve from it, and we created our own Dive Talk wet notes. See? So instead of the flat thing, it's now a super strong bungee holding it together, which is great. It has
are those on the store, by the way?
It's only for members right now. If we don't sell
out, I'm just saying I don't have any. Could you hold one
I'll,
for me?
Maybe. So this one has a D-ring, as you can see, so I can attach a bolt snap and just let it hang. And I still kind of copy the ideas from the Subgravity. I think they have a good idea. You can put stuff back here, like a map for a cave or whatever. If you're navigating, you can put it here and you don't have to open it. And obviously let me open that. It has an umbilical. How can I show this? For the pencil. So you can see, the pencil now has a little umbilical so you don't lose it if it comes out of it. So, sometimes you got to take your own initiative to improve it.
Yeah. I don't want to get comments. There are a lot of wet notes with an umbilical. I have a set or whatever. But I think that the fact that you added all those elements together is what makes them really cool. And hey, put mine on my chair. Like, right there.
I'll put it. Yeah, I'll
on my chair there when I get back in March.
Yeah. The other thing I noticed is I really like the fact that this is embroidered, like the logo. And I thought initially about embroidering ours, but then I noticed closely and it's coming apart. Anything you embroider that is high contact is going to start unraveling. So we decided to go for like high quality printing instead. So this is actually printed on it rather than embroidered, but it doesn't come off. It's really good.
I'm going to reach out to the printer though. I'm going to change something. There will be bright. My bright pink one will be nice.
I don't know about that, but waterproof paper. That's right. They're wet notes. But yeah, I'll probably save you one. We'll see if we don't sell out before I see you again.
And we'll put them on. I think eventually we'll put them on the store, everybody. So I see people saying I'm not a member, but whatever. But I mean, there are certain things that we want to hold special for the members because honestly, you guys help us so much. We spend a lot of money on Dive Talk, and we do this for the love of it, not for the money.
Yeah, we
that helps us.
Yeah, we also made some rash guards, and also members are getting first dips on those. So members always will get first dips on some of our merchandise. I mean, they're proving by being members that they're willing to support us in our efforts to create more content. So we always kind of let them pick first, and a lot of things sell out before they come out publicly. Okay, so this is like
I think we're gonna have to. I didn't mean to cut you off, but we're gonna have to wrap up soon. I actually have
something
a big
coming up.
Call coming up, but Go ahead and finish what you're about to say.
No, there's a lot of questions in here. So let's just pick one. Thank you for the super chat, Mr. Black Chain.
I don't have any experience with the watch yet. Everybody, people are asking that just came out. We are going to test this to a very deep level, and we're going to put it up against other dive computers and see what it will do. So the answer is stay tuned.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. One last question to answer, and then we'll get out.
I'm diving not today. Today I need to do some stuff, but I am diving next week with Pura Vida next Saturday at 1:30. I will be with Pura Vida in Jupiter, West Palm, diving. If anybody, there may be some spots left.
Right.
Welcome to come dive with me.
Last question to wrap up. How many dives you recommend for the Dive Talk meetup, like to have before you go? 4, I guess, which is the minimum to become open water certified. So you don't have to be an experienced diver to come and enjoy with us. Obviously, if you have the opportunity to gain a bunch of experience before you go, that's going to make your diving a lot more enjoyable. You're not worried about, what am I doing? But if you're a brand new diver, you're still welcome. And even if you're not a diver, we have rates for the meetup that are non-diver rates. So everyone is welcome, and I hope to see you all there. All right, I would say this is a good test for the setup, Woody.
Good test, and if you do want to come one more time, it's on our YouTube channel page to sign up for the Cozumel meetup trip. Please come. Great test. So now we can do this more and do some reaction videos as well. Bye, everybody. Thank you for tuning in as always.